Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Okay, here we are back with the garden journal, and this time we are going to work on the cover. It's time. We've been doing work with the signatures, and I've made some ephemera and all sorts of things have been happening, but now it's time to sort out this cover. One of the reasons I've left it this long is because I have no idea what I want to do with it. But because I want it to be a fairly utilitarian book, I sort of, in my mind, imagining it going out in the garden with you. So I just want it to be very, very simple. So what I've decided to do is cover it with this brown paper. Now, this is packaging paper. This is what I wrap my journals in when they go internationally. So it's quite sturdy paper, and I decided that that was what I wanted for this journal cover. So I am going to cut two pieces of this. I'm going to not wrap it around the whole book. I'm just going to cover the front and the back, and just part of the spine. So yeah, I will need the two pieces, and I'm just basically going to cover each section just like you would cover a school book. So I will sort that out, and then we will, once it's sort of all glued together, we will move on and maybe decorate it a little. But right at the get-go, I'm just going to cut it to size. I am going to use some straight PVA to stick it down to the cover. I want a really good bond here. I don't want it moving anywhere. I don't want to put too much, I don't want to do a PVA water mix because I don't want too much buckling or wrinkling. So I'd like to keep the glue as sort of straight as possible. So I will just be using straight PVA. So I will go and get my silicone mat and the PVA, and we will get a move on with this. I'm just giving this a quick sand first, just to give the glue a bit more tooth to grab a hold of. I'm also sanding obviously my tape because I'm gluing to it and it's very, very shiny. So yeah, I'll give this a bit of a sand, then I'll give it a wipe down with a wet sort of cleaning wipe, and then we'll get the glue happening. Okay, that's the book cover put to the side, and I'm just going to use this bit of PVA that I had left over. Not to do anything spectacular, I'm just going to wipe it on this book page and then stick scraps to it, and then, yeah, wipe some more over the top. I just had it on my brush. I wanted to do something with it, so I just opened my scrap drawer and started plonking things down. What am I going to do with this in the end of the day? Who knows? It will just float around my craft room until I find a use for it. I probably punch flowers or butterflies or hearts or something out of it, or I don't know, make a pocket out of it. Who knows? It's just there now, and it's just something that's another resource for another time. Okay guys, well I let that book cover dry overnight and I have finished covering it. Yeah, I've just basically done school book corners. This is what it looks like currently. Obviously we need to cover the spine, but first I would like to decorate the front of it, because I've been fossicking around my room and found a few things that I thought looked quite good. So that's what we're going to do. First of all though, we are going to grunge it up a little bit. I'm just going to use some Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to make it a bit dirty looking, because although it's very lovely the way it is, and I am always tempted to leave things alone and not grub them up just simply because they look nice. I want this to be a usable journal. I want you to think you're going to take it out in the garden and get dirt on it, and it's okay. You may choose not to do that, that's fine, but I want it to look like it could be done. So anyway, I'm just going to grunge it up a bit. I'm going to use a couple of colours here, just to make it look extra grungy, and then we will decorate the front a little more, and then we will move on to covering the spine. what I have here is a piece of scrapbook paper that I thought suited the theme quite nicely. I also have a piece of that embossed paper with the tea bags over it that I was sent by Rayleigh at Anytime Journals. Thanks, Rayleigh. I love this stuff so much. This piece had a really lovely sort of sweet pea embossing on it, and I thought, oh, that's perfect for a gardening journal, so I've used that. And also just the name of a book that I happen to have, which was the Year-Round Gardener, and I thought, well, that's just perfect. So, and a lot of that book actually is in this book, so even better. So that's very simple, but quite effective little sort of book plate for our book. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ink all of that up a bit, and we will stick it down. And once it's stuck down, I'm going to actually take this away and hit it with a little bit of matte varnish. It's spray varnish. It's leftover varnish from when I used to do acrylic painting. So yeah, it's very matte, and it dries very quickly, and it's very what shall I say, it gives a very fine coating. It's not a very thick coating of varnish, but it is enough to protect everything. And basically, if you do get a bit too much dirt on it, you should be able to give it a good wipe over without too much trouble. So I just want it to be a sturdy cover. It is, after all, just covered in packaging paper that gets from here to wherever it needs to go internationally without falling apart, but you just want to make sure. Okay, after a quick hit with the varnish, we're back again, and it is time to get covering this spine. Now, what I've got here is some rust-dyed fabric. I wanted to use that on the spine. I have a couple of pieces to sort of trial out. I very quickly decided on this one. I quite like this fabric. It's a little bit yellow, which kind of picks up on the scrapbook paper as well, and on quite a lot of the pages inside, but yeah. And I'm going to cover it with that weird looking lacy sort of fabric that was an old shirt that was also rust dyed. So yeah, anyway, we'll cut that to size and get it on there, and yeah, that will be us for the day. But it's a good day's work, I think. We've done well. As always, I put my glue on fairly generously, but use the side of the tip of my glue bottle to smear it out so that it's not going to soak through my fabric. I really try to avoid that when I can. I don't really enjoy the look of the glue seeping through the fabric. So also, I'm not worried about that orange strip showing through. This is fairly opaque fabric. It's not really an issue. And I'm covering it with that lacy fabric as well, so yes, you won't be able to see any of that at all. I'm making sure to push this into the grooves down the edges of the spine. I just like that. And yeah, once it's all secured, we will get it glued on the inside and then move on to that lacy bit. Now, because this glue can retain some of its shine as it's dried, or when it's dried, I'm going to do my best to just follow the thicker fabric strips on this sort of lacy material when I am gluing it to the spine, just so that it remains hidden underneath the fabric and you can't see it through the little gaps. Yeah, that's just me. I don't want shiny bits showing. Right guys, there we have it. That's it. That's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me put our cover together. It came together quite quickly once I decided what I was going to do. So yeah, I quite like it. I hope you do too. Anyway, thanks for being here today guys. I appreciate your company as always, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.